Hi guys, my name is Girish, your host for today for Back to Basics. Today we have a special. We have a Mother's Day special. Now, mothers are important, fathers are important, but today we're going to celebrate Mother's Day. We're going to celebrate mothers. Now, there are grandmothers too that we want to celebrate and salute all you guys. And guys, we have not just one, we have a total of 5 people. And we will talk to them today. So guys, how are you doing today? And thank you for coming on Back to Basics.
Doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we have, so everyone, one by one, can we introduce yourselves before I go crazy with all you people?
My name is Hetal Patel, and I'm a stay-home mom for right now. I became friends with Rashmi and Girish, where both of our firstborn went to daycare, and that's where we met. Okay. That was about 13, I would say 10 years ago.
10 years ago, okay. Yeah. Ritu, how about you?
Ritu Tridevi, I became friends with the Balis through a mutual friend, and we've been friends for about 5 or 6 years. Who's counting? And I'm a mom of 2 kids, 9 and 12, and I'm also in the marketing industry.
Pinky, how about you?
Hi, I'm Pinky. I met Rashmi and Girish, same as Ritu, about 5-6 years ago through mutual friends, and we are very close. We live very close to each other. But because of COVID, we don't get to see each other often. But otherwise, we get to see each other often. And I'm a physical therapist and mother of 2 kids.
Mother of 2 kids, okay. And Bhavna is a returning guest. She came to our show as a movie blogger, and we wanted to invite you and talk to Bhavna in close in person too. So Bhavna, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. I am Bhavna, and I'm so glad to be back to Basics. And Rashmi and me, we've been schoolmates. I am an ex-hotelier who gave up my full-time career, when I had my second kid. I have 2 kids. My daughter is 18-year-old and my son is 10-year-old. So now I would say I'm a full-time homemaker and a full-time mother and a part-time film blogger.
Awesome. So guys, thank you for coming and making the show a little bright and for all the mothers. And I wanted to wish all you guys a happy Mother's Day. This is a special moment for Back to Basics and inviting you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
So guys, I have some few questions and we'll make it fun as usual, right? What does Mother's Day mean to you when it comes to Mother's Day? It's not, kids making breakfast or getting gifts and flowers, but what does Mother's Day mean to you? Let's start with Hetal first.
Well, as we all know, Mother's Day is not just a one-day job. It doesn't only start and end on the Mother's Day. Since we become mother, it's an amazing journey to be a mother and to care for our kids and to provide everything and anything that we can with. And having kids in your life makes it makes life, I guess, to see different ways on how the things that we missed as a kids, and we try to imply or to live through our children as well. And like I said, Mother's Day is practically every single day, until we die. And maybe it'll continue going.
So guys, I want to and make sure that I get introduced properly. My wife is here in the studio. She is a mother of my 2 great kids that she has provided us. in this family, and she's a microbiologist. Her name is Rashmi Bali. And Rashmi, go ahead. What does Mother's Day mean to you?
So Mother's Day means, it's a lot of, I think not just that particular day, as Hetal already said, right? That it just doesn't end on one particular day. It's like once you have kids, I think you start your journey as a mother, and it's never ending. It's never ending, I think, until the day you take your last breath. Even then, I believe you kind of like, as a mother, your legacy lives on with your kids, right? Because I remember I'm far away from my mom, right? And no matter how close you are to your other family members, when you're in pain, when you're sick, the first thought that comes to your mind is mom. Like, I really want my mom. Like, even till this date, if I'm in pain, I get like a really bad migraine, the first thing, my first instinct is to pick up the phone and call my mom. And I know it's kind of like everything, it's kind of like the same for everyone, I feel. And it's not just that one particular day. Definitely we kind of like celebrate it in here in the States and all over the world now as dedicated to moms, because I think in today's age and world, we have all become so busy that just make it special that particular day. Make your mom feel special, but that doesn't mean that every day my kids don't make me feel special or mad every single day. That's kind of like is like, a part of being a mom. There's always like ups and downs, so that's what I feel. That's what I feel Mother's Day is about. It's not just a one day thing. It's more or less kind of like a lifetime journey of being a mom.
And thank you for that. So, Bhavna, how about you? What does Mother's Day mean to you?
Well, I think Mother's Day means just finding an excuse to make the person feel special at least one special day of the year. Though I think every day would be as important, and any day where you really find time and you just find the instinct to express love and appreciation. I mean, to be very honest, I am not of a more of Mother's Day, Father's Day, or girlfriend day or boyfriend day person. I believe that any day where you make the other person feel special, whatever be the relationship, that could be the best thing.
Yeah, I think with the Mother's Day and Father's Day and all the other stuff that you're talking about, I think what they're trying to say is to salute everybody. And I think that's what it is. So I don't think Mother's Day should be that one particular day. I think it's more of a salute. Ritu, how about you?
I'm in advertising and marketing. There should be a day for everything, right?
Yeah.
I think from that perspective, it's it's an important day because everybody gets to sort of promote its top of mind. And it's just a celebration, just like any other day. It's like Father's Day, to Rashmi's point, life is so busy. Everybody forgets to celebrate each other. Yesterday was National Siblings Day, so I guilted my children a couple of times when they were fighting to remind them it was National Sibling Day. Not that it meant a lot to them, but it was a good reminder that they have to be kind to each other. And same thing with moms. I mean, we live far away, right? Most of us are away from our moms in India. It's a nice reminder. It's a nice way to celebrate. Not that we shouldn't be nice and kind to them on a daily basis, but I think it's important to be able to celebrate the special people in our life in a good way.
In a good way, yes. And Pinky, how about you?
Yeah, I agree with Ritu. Same thing. It just, like our life is so busy. So it kind of gives us a day to kind of stop and, just talk to our mom, just, make her feel special, because every day we are so busy. With my kids, every day, it's like right now, just before we started, Asha had a fit because she's supposed to join this class and she couldn't. So she was like screaming at me. So I felt like at like Mother's Day, at least I felt like at least the one day they will like appreciate and say, okay, today we should leave mom alone and don't scream at her, So that's what I feel like. Same thing that, it's Mother's Day. It just gives all of us to just kind of pause with whatever we are doing and just celebrate our moms. And that's it. Yeah.
So here's the next question, guys. And it's like a two-part question. So what memories do you have about your mother that it stayed you for the longest time, and then what memory you're going to give to your kids? So let's start with Pinky.
Oh, the memory. I think, like Ritu said, that when you are sick or when you are in pain, I remember every time, if any little sickness, I'll call her and she will make my special food, and I'll feel better. And even at this point, I talk to her every day, and any trouble I have, I just talking to her, it just makes everything better. And I think that's always going to stay with me. Yeah.
And the second part, what you want to give your kids, the same way or something else?
And same thing. I just want my kids to do the same. I want them to come to me anytime they need anything. They feel like they need something. Like that's the memory I want to give. Yeah. Like they just want to remember me as like, okay, and in life, whatever point they are in trouble, anything, they can just call their mom or just think of their mom just to make things better.
And Ritu, how about you?
So my mother, I tortured her. I asked for the impossible, right? We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in Bombay, and I wanted to invite for Holi 25 kids from my school. And not just for dinner, right? 10th grade. So the boys were always hungry, but not just for dinner, which she cooked herself. I still remember she made naans for us by herself for 25 kids. And then I had them all stay the night. So by the time we got up in the morning, there was nothing left in my parents' refrigerator because we all were up the whole night eating everything. And the next day in the morning, my mother gets up, makes us breakfast, and then we all played Holi together. You won't believe this was about, at this point, oh God, we're all going to be 50 this year. So 30 years ago, 25 years ago, and the kids from my class still remember that day. There were other mothers that called my mom and dad and said, are you crazy for doing this? And this is just one example of something she did for me, but I used to make her do these kind of things all the time for me. And she always did. So those memories that she created, not just for me, but for my friends and things that I can look back and go, oh my God, how did you get that done? I have to say it was just beautiful.
So is that a similar memory that you want to give your kids?
Well, Pinky and you have been at our pumpkin carving party. You know, I love to host. That is definitely a gift from my mom. And I just love having people come create those memories with us. I think that means the world to my children. And those are things they will remember forever. You know, yes, before the day and after the day, I hate myself for saying yes to those things, but I just love every second of it. So yes, those are the memories. And the more memories I can create, that would be just wonderful.
Yeah. How about you, Bhavna?
Well, for me, it's not one particular memory. It's that whole feel that I get from my mom. She's a very positive woman, and her positivity shines better in tough times. So whenever, we are feeling low or we are feeling scared, there would be just one thing she says, always believe in God. He'll always, he'll always do the better for you and things like that. So for me, that whole feel of that calmness and strength, her belief and the faith in God, that whole feel hangs around her. And I always, associate and always fall back upon that whole feel and strength which I get from her. And whenever I feel low or I'm feeling scared, I always try to recall that whole thing, that what would mom, behave like, or what would she feel in this situation? And that just gives me strength. So I think that's what my mother means to me. A lot of strength, a lot of positivity, and to always believe, that, whatever happens for the best.
And you think that's the same legacy you want to give your kids, or you think you're giving a different legacy?
Well, yes, some of it, but then we all have our personalities and USPs, Maybe mine, I don't know. That I'll have to see through my daughter's or my son's eyes whether I do, give that kind of positivity or strength or not. But then I have my own USPs, and what I would want my kids to believe is that, I'm always there for them, be whatever it, the freedom, the confidence, there has to be no fear, nothing hiding, and that's what I want my kids to feel for me when they think of me. Okay, mom, she's the one to fall back upon, one person to fall back upon.
Yeah. How about you, Rashmi?
So I can't say there's like one memory or anything of the sort that I can point that I remember, getting from my mom. What I get is like an overall personality, in the sense that me and her, we are opposite personalities. She is a very patient, calm, cool woman, in the sense that all these years, we know that she would lose it only if hell broke loose, like once or twice. And me and my siblings, I'd seen her always as like such a calm, patient person in general. I never even had seen her like even ask. In general, she was like a very, how should I put it? She's a very, a person who's very satisfied with the way things are. So she wouldn't like complain, ask for much and all those things, as opposed to me. I'm constantly telling my kids, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Or maybe that was her parenting style. But so we are kind of like poles apart, but that doesn't mean like she would never like, blow off her top. Like with me, it's like, okay, why did we have to go this way? Why could we not do it that way? Like, that expectation that I have from the kids. Yet I feel that the way she raised us, there's four of us, right? Me and my siblings. The way she raised four of us, and she was a stay-at-home mom, is to be independent. She never put what is right and what is wrong in us, but we knew it. We knew never to push those boundaries or to just, go crazy in a certain way. It was never said, yet it was understood. So I can say she was kind of like passive aggressive in that matter. Like we all knew where the lines are drawn, and none of us tried to push those lines, yet she never had to raise her voice ever. So, and in terms of my kids, if I can achieve one thing or have them have like a good memory, is the same thing. Like, moms are something that you always fall back upon, like, in crises and stuff like that. So share the details, share with me as a friend, as now with like a teenager heading to high school in the coming session. I don't want to miss out on that part of their life. So share with me, fall back upon me, and trust me, and yet at the same time be confident and independent enough to be able to have like strong personalities.
And thank you for that. Hetal, how about you?
When I think of my mom, two things that comes to me the most is her strength and her energy. Even I lost my mom about 3 years ago to a cancer. Even she never ever gave up on the strength and the energy. Even at 70, she had a 3-year-old energy. Even I used to get tired running after her and with her. She taught me always that don't ever rely on anybody or anything. Just do things your way and what you want to do. And that goes even for my dad. She never waited for him to okay, you know what, I want to go here, can you please take me? Or I want to go to Europe, can you take me to Europe? If she had a chance, and literally she went on a Europe tour by herself in her 60s for 17 days. And we were home, and back then we didn't have phones or no cell phones, nothing. And literally we had no clue how she was, what she was doing for 17 days in Europe until she got back. So, and not that she even called even once to let us know that she's fine, she's doing okay, she's having fun, nothing. Even with her cancer and everything, she never, even when she used to, because she did all her treatment at my house, so I know how she was feeling from inside, but she never ever showed it on her face that she's weak, that she can't do this. And the other thing that always reminds me of my mom is food and cooking, and that's where I get my passion for cooking. And I love cooking, I love feeding people, I love hosting parties, like Ritu said. Hosting a party is so much fun. And I don't know if Girish and Rashmi can vouch for that.
Of course
And
we can.
I really can cook, and everybody, not trying to brag about myself, but whoever has eaten my food, they always say they always go home with a smile.
Hetal loves to experiment, and I can vouch for it. Every new thing, that new fad that comes into the market, she's on it.
So those are the things that, and I can say that the people that know me, that and a strong personality, and that's what I get from my mom. Independent, being strong. Don't wait for anybody or anything to take me somewhere. I go and take my kids on a road trip on my own. My husband being a businessman, he's always busy, so he can't contribute too much of his time. So I mean, I come from an IT background, so when I was working, I didn't have much of a time to spend with my kids, because with work and everything, and you come home and you have to do your chores and getting ready for the next day, so there was only very minimal time that I had to spend with the kids, except for the weekend. And even weekends, we're always busy doing laundry, grocery shopping, preparing for the following week. And that's what I always tell my daughter also, that you don't need a man to make you feel special or to do anything. You can do it on your own, and always be strong about who you are as a woman, and in the future as a mom. As well as, like, I always tell her, don't ever make anybody feel that they're not special. Because that's what my mom made all of us feel, that no matter what you do and what life throws at you, don't ever feel that you cannot do this or you cannot achieve these. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And my mom was a teacher. So obviously we all know, and both of my parents were actually teacher. My dad was a math and a science teacher. My mom was the elementary school teacher. So education was number one in our list from the beginning. So these are the things that when I say mom, these are the things that comes to me from my mom, and I would like to pass these values to my kids.
So, guys, thank you so much for that answer there. So, guys, I just want to explain something here. A lot of people have lost their moms and their dads in their lives, but we want to salute every mother possible, even the single mothers. We even totally forget about single mothers, because single mothers are as important as the couples and everything else. So guys, so I have another question here. So was there a moment that your mom was very proud of you and said, I want to congratulate you, or I want to thank you? Is it because you got a report card, or did you get a first job, or did you get your first paycheck? Those type of examples. What do you say to that, Hetal?
Yes, actually, she knew that I take after her when it comes to doing things and achieving things in life. And the the day that when I had my first internship at Payne Weber back then, back in 1997, I would say, when I had my first actual job as an internship from a college, she was very, very proud of me, and she said, "Now we can pay all our bills, and I don't have to worry about if I have a job tomorrow or no, because now we can pay with because you got a better job." And it was that was the day that she actually felt relieved that that I can now, she has my support with whatever she's doing, and even after that, there, of course, there moms are always saluting us and always congratulating us and always be happy, even with the littlest thing that we achieve in life, or even like riding a bike, learning how to ride a bike. Even for them, it's like a huge achievement for them, that we did. So day to day, obviously, they're all giving you everything, always happy for us for what we did, and always saying, "Oh wow, I'm so happy, I'm so proud of you, you did this." So but these are the big achievements, are the ones that after getting married and seeing that how you're raising your family and how you are with your kids, and these are the things that she was always proud of, and that she always says that, "I see that you have a lot of me in you, and and I'm proud of you for doing everything that you're doing, and you're handling with like all of us right now, with work and kids and family, and even then, even doing like birthday parties and everything. It's kind of hard to doing everything as a as a person, and even doing all these things with the busy life, so mothers always said, "Oh, that it's, I don't know where you find the time, but I'm happy that you did it for your kids." So those are the things that I think the moms are really proud of.
How about you, Rashmi?
I can't really pinpoint one thing, as as Hetal pointed out. I think moms are always proud of like little accomplishments in their kids' lives. There's no such thing as like, okay, this is where I want my kid to be on that kind of a platform. But I think I kind of like felt it, and she's not a very, as I said, she's not a very verbal person, but I could tell, I think after like a certain stage in life, when we bought our first place and they came to visit, my mom and dad, they came to visit, I could tell she was kind of like proud. It was like humble beginnings for us, but still she was very proud that we are at a certain stage in life where we are kind of like what you get as what you call as like now grown-ups, and leading our own lives independently without being under anybody's shadow. So I think that was kind of like a proud moment for her. And as I said, she's not a very verbal person when it comes to these things, but you can tell by their touch, by their expressions, and all those things that come along with her as a person, that that was definitely kind of that feel that, okay, I'm proud of you.
How about you, Bhavna?
Well, my mother has been a very, very simple and, as I said, very calm kind of a person. She's not the ambitious type. So what I remember about, okay, I'm proud of you. But as Rashmi said that sometimes they're not so verbal, but then you can see that they are proud of you just by the way you handle life. I mean, mothers are such amazing things, even if there's no achievement in life, you are happily married, or, you're handling your kids well, and your kids are doing well, your husband is doing well, everything makes them proud. Everything falls into your kitty because, it's your life, you're happy, you are good in your own space, your kids are doing well, you're handling your relationships well, and everything, kind of, makes them feel proud. Their happiness itself shows how proud they are, about the way that life is shaping up. The only very recent and very evident time when very recently, my mom praised me was, and I had shared with Girish, I have this fear of public speaking. I'm never too comfortable with it. And just about last month, it so happened that I had to, speak at a huge public gathering. It was about a 10, 12-minute speech or something. And I was jittery for a week before that. And it finally, went very well. And when I sent the recording to her, I wasn't expecting that. But, she called back and she was so gaga about it. And those were the first formal words where she actually said that I feel so proud of you. I think that came from because she knew that that's what I fear and that I had overcome it and I had done well. So that's the only specific memory. But otherwise, her happiness shows how proud she is.
How about you, Ritu?
So my mom actually set goals for me and has been very verbal all her life about what those goals are, especially when it came to my career. My mom is stay-at-home. But I have to say, she very early on in life, first of all, growing up, there was no boy or girl. My brother is 10 years younger to me, so they never even knew they were going to have a boy. They treated me, everything that a boy can do, a girl can do. And she used to say to me, I don't want you to be a wife and a mother. I want you to be a leader. I want you to work in a company. Like, that was her goal for me. And then as I started getting older, she would say things like, and I don't know where she was getting these ideas from, but she would say, I want that even to meet you, I have to take an appointment, and that you have breakfast in Paris and lunch in London. And like, she just created these ideas in my head. And about 2 years ago, she was visiting London. I met with her there, had breakfast with her in London, and then I went to Paris for meetings, and I had lunch in Paris. And I remember calling her and saying, Ma, you remember you had said this to me at one point? Guess what? And I feel like she has been my force, like just quiet strength, but also that force that has just pushed me through things. I had never any plans to come to America. Single girl at the age of 24. She just pushed me. Didn't care. There was no email. There were no cell phones. Didn't wait for me to get married and come with a husband. She just said, we had no uncles and aunts waiting for me. No one in the whole of America. And she just said, get on a plane, do or die. Here you go, one-way ticket. May God be with you. And it was her quiet strength, but also to the point Bhavna was making before, her belief in God, like just like things will be fine. And she just pushed me. So that was one. And I want to say the second one was she came to my house in America. They had never visited America, my parents. And me and my sister now both are in America. And in 2001, the first time they came to America to visit us, she was shocked that I actually had a kitchen that had everything in it. She actually brought stuff with her in her suitcase because she thought there's no way these girls are cooking. There's no way that they're eating well. And she was shocked that I had a fully functioning kitchen and I knew how to cook because I grew up like a little tomboy. So I never cooked, never learned cooking from my mom, who's an amazing, amazing cook. But I taught myself. And of course, now we swap recipes and we talk about all these things. But back in the day, I never learned from her. And she was shocked that I had a fully functioning kitchen. She still talks about it. Like, she's shocked when I send her pictures of all my food and the fact that I do a 20-people party on my own. She's just absolutely amazed. This is the same Ritu who grew up being tomboy. So those are two things I would say she's very proud of, that I became a fully functioning human being and her proudest moments, perhaps.
And how about you, Pinky?
Yes, so like everybody talked about their moms is the same thing. My mom is not verbal either. Like I wait for her to tell me that she's proud of me, but like they never verbalize. I feel like it's just the Indian mom or whatever it is. I tell my kids a lot nowadays, I'm proud of you, or good job, but for my mom, but just looking at her face and the happiness she has every time, like you achieve something, even a little thing, like just getting into physical therapy school, or like getting my driver license or something, because my mom doesn't drive, so for her, like whatever she couldn't do, whatever, and whatever she couldn't do, what I can do, I can just see happiness. Like that was her achievement through me. So, and again, like what Ritu said, same thing. My mom is even surprised when I tell her, oh, I made this, like food wise. She's like, oh, you know how to make this? Oh, you know how to do this? And I send her pictures, and she will be shocked, and she will be so happy. And I can just see that. And again, also how I raise my kids, like how relationships, like with husbands, with everything, whatever, every little thing, like I said, she never verbalized it, but I see in her face, she's very happy. Like I can just see. And then she wouldn't tell me, but then she will tell my aunt, or she will tell somebody else that, oh, I didn't know, but she can do this, and she has everything in her house. Like her kitchen is full. She makes dinner. She works every day, and she still makes dinner for, comes home and she cooks and does everything. So that's like I said, that's my mother's, happiness through,
I would
yeah.
to pitch in here. See, with most of the moms, more than direct, how we get to know about their pride is when they brag about it to the relatives.
That's true. Yes.
You get to know from your and mommies and cousins who like this, and so indirectly it reaches you. And this is what that has made them proud.
Same.
So basically, when they're talking in public, that automatically there's an accomplishment for you.
Yes.
Even though that it's a little embarrassing at the same time. So
no, I don't.
So if you had one word about your mom, what is the one word you want to describe about your mom? Just one word.
One word.
Strength for my mom. Definitely strength.
Strength?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about you, Bhavna?
Positivity.
Ritu?
Faith.
And Pinky?
Same thing. I'll just go with strength. Yeah.
And how about you, Rashmi?
Patience.
Patience.
Patience. That too.
So do you?
My mom had zero patience.
Yeah.
So the words that you described your mom, this one word, would that be the same word for you, for your kids? You think?
Yes, definitely.
No, for me.
No, strength. No, if you're strong, I think you can conquer anything.
How about you guys? The word that you describe your mom from that one word, do you think you are the same person? Or is it a different word?
I think.
Go ahead, Pinky.
No, I'm just saying same. I don't think it will be same, because I think for my kids, it will be different. Maybe I need to ask them for this Mother's Day to describe what they. But I'm pretty sure they will also see strength in me, and I think especially like past year was tough for everybody, and I think they will look at their parents differently, like everything we went through, and so I think it will be again. I agree. I think it will be strength. Yeah, how we got through the tough times. I think, that's what they're going to look at it.
How about you, Ritu?
I was looking back because my daughter has actually done initials for me and Samir and then put different words around it. And I was seeing what did she write? And the words she would use for me are probably nice, kind, fun. And then she said leader. Because my kids get to see me in a role that I didn't get to see my mom, right? Out in the workforce. My kids get to see, especially nowadays, they come into my Zoom calls, they see me talking to my team, they see me in that sort of office role at home. So she sees me as the boss lady. She sees me as the leader, which is nice because I would say she would probably use more of those words to describe me. But for my mom, like faith was around us growing up. My mom is religious, but not overbearing. She never passed on her faith to like others, like forced it upon us, but it's just a quiet faith that things will just be okay. I don't know if I have that in me. I do think that I have more strength and more of these leadership capabilities, which is a little bit of my dad in me as well. So I think my kids will use probably a little different language to describe me.
And how about you, Rashmi?
Yeah, I certainly said that, my kids would definitely not use the word patient for me. They'll definitely use the word strong and, to Ritu's point, like, more like in the leadership aspect of it, because definitely like, you just don't get everything from your mom. You get like a mix of both the genes, right? And I take that strength from my dad's side of the family, and I also actually remember her saying it to me one time, like I think it was during one of the pregnancies. I was kind of like emotional and all that stuff. I'm like, you don't have it's so nice for you to live with the other 3 of the kids close by, and you can meet them up. And she told me clearly, she's like, you're the strongest child, you're one of the you are my strongest child, not one of the, she said, you're my strongest child. So I couldn't have imagined any of my other kids being away and being okay. So I know for sure that that's what she sees in me, and I think my kids see that in me as well. So yeah, the strength and ability to take charge and get going.
Bhavna, I think you're left, so you tell me. Do you think your kids are seeing the same way as you, or you yourself, what you describe your mom?
I don't think it will be the same, because as most of us said that, we are both different personalities, my mother and me. What my daughter, son is too much of a monkey to actually analyze that. But what my daughter, finds the best thing about me, which she wants to, ingrain from me is, she says I'm very meticulous. And that's something she says she would, she wants to imbibe that from me. So I guess that's that for now.
Yeah. So guys,
Hetal.
No, Hetal has already mentioned it. She says strength, I think, right, Hetal?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, thank you for coming on this show, for making this Mother's Day special. Do you have any last words for Back to Basic moment for you before you head out today? We'll start with Hetal.
Well, I have seen some of your videos, and I think that past year has taught us that everything is going back to basics and how we started things, where we weren't allowed to go out much and survive in whatever we have, so I guess that's what I would say, that the last year had taught us a lot about going back to basic.
How about you, Bhavna?
Pardon, can you repeat? I'm sorry.
I said, what is your back to basic moment before you head out? The last words before you leave today.
Well, I'm glad to be back with you, and it's always interesting. The conversations are lovely. And I would just like to wish everyone a very happy Mother's Day. And I want people to subscribe to Back to Basics, keep on listening, keep on enjoying the chat, and the varied, topics and conversation which Girish brings to us. And remember, everything in life is back to basics.
Yeah. And how about you, Ritu?
I would echo what Hetal was saying, that last year has probably taught me to be a mother properly. I think before that I was a weekend mom and relied on my nannies. Last year I didn't have a nanny, and I've been working and doing the job of a mother. And I have to say, kudos to those stay-at-home moms. I don't know how you do it. It's tougher than going to work, way tougher. There are days I love my kids. There are days I've had enough of them. And I have to say, even for the single moms, you sort of talked about that, Girish, before. I mean, thank God. There are times my husband, when he comes home, I'm like, now they're yours. I don't know how those single moms do it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The amount of work, the amount of mental presence that you need to have to raise kids. I'm very blessed that this year I've learned a lot, especially patience, as Rashmi was saying, not my strongest suit, but I'm learning. So I'm a mom in coaching, I would say. This was a great celebration of talking about what we've learned from our moms and what we want to see that we can do in the future for our kids. So thank you for giving us a forum, Girish, to talk about it. But happy Mother's Day to everyone. And yes, last year, if anything I've learned is back to basics. It's about cooking for your kids, listening to your kids, and spending more time with family and friends. So thank you.
Yeah. Pinky, how about you?
Yeah, same. Past year was, taught us a lot. And it kind of made us realize what's important in our life, like, because we all had a time to think about, like, what's important, like going back to basics, like, thinking, we were so busy before that. So even my kids, they were so happy because they were like, we get to spend so much time with mom and dad, because, especially like first few months last year, March and April, when, we weren't going to work, so it was just like, it kind of made us think about what is important: friends, family, kids, spending time with kids, like cooking and just doing small things with them, like finding, like when we had nothing to do, my son always says, Mom, we are never home, we are always going somewhere. Before COVID, like we always go, we don't have time for other stuff. But last year we gardened, we went hiking, biking. We used to do that before, but like we did a lot of those, just four of us just finding something to do. So I think that's like, again, like I said, that's going back to basics. Before we had media, before we had TV and iPhone, and I think that's what we were doing, just spending time with friends and family. And that's, I think last year, I think we went back to that. So I will just say, going back to basics.
Yeah. And how about you, Rashmi? The last one.
I kind of echo everybody's thoughts here, and I think last year has taught us, within more than a year of being in pandemic lockdown conditions, and so I think it has taught everybody what the basics of life are, like love, kindness, at the most, like living cohesively 24/7 in each other's faces and not losing it, right? Those are like the basic things, right? So how we grew up, four or six of us in the same house for like longest periods of time, and yet trying to understand each other's personalities, right? Because to Ritu's point, right, we were like almost like weekend parents, right? Monday through Friday, you go do your business, the kids do their own business, and we come back and we try to find time on the weekends. And even during those times, you have activities planned, birthday parties planned, your get-togethers planned, and do this, do that, cooking, cleaning, getting ready for the next week. So what this brought us is that you can find so much time. We found actually so much time with the kids, understanding their personalities, knowing what they want, and be able to be there for them. So love, kindness, and appreciating each other, appreciating little things in life. That's what I feel is going back to basics, appreciating each other as a person, be it your husband, your kids, your siblings, or even the pup. It's everything. It's all comes down to the basics of love and kindness, and be able to be there for each other. So yeah, that's what it means for me.
So guys, thank you again for coming on the show and making this Mother's Day special for all of us. And I wish all you guys happy Mother's Day and salute all you guys, and especially all the single mothers also. So guys, thank you again for all that. As usual, what we have done is we have brought Mother's Day together into this show, and we have saluted each and every one of you, including the single mothers and the grandmothers. They used to be mothers too. So we want to salute all you guys and wish you happy Mother's Day from Back to Basics. Back to Basics has taught us a lot last year, and we're going to be learning each and every year. I think 2021 will be a little different than 20 and 22 and 23, and we'll keep on learning as we go on. So guys, as always, as usual, here's the quote of the day, and the quote of the day is, mothers are like glue. Even when you can't see them, they still hold the family together. And that's by Susan Gale. So guys, as usual, as always, back to basics. Everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Take care. God bless.